Using success as a form of quiet revenge is a powerful approach to dealing with hurt or betrayal. When we're wronged, our initial reaction may be to seek a way to make that person feel the pain they caused us. But by redirecting that energy towards success and self-betterment, we create a response that is both dignified and empowering. Instead of lowering ourselves to the level of retaliation, we're choosing to elevate ourselves to a higher standard. Success becomes the answer, not through words or confrontation, but through actions that silently show the world and those who hurt us that no one's negativity can keep us from reaching our full potential. There's a strength in focusing on your personal achievements rather than on proving a point to someone who may have wronged you. When you channel your energy into personal and professional growth, you're making a choice to focus on yourself rather than allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your path. This quiet revenge isn't about making someone jealous or proving them wrong in a spiteful way. It's about building a life that reflects your resilience, determination, and vision for yourself. By creating a successful, fulfilling life, you're not only showing them what you're capable of, but you're also proving to yourself that their actions cannot define your worth or limit your potential. Success in this context becomes a deeply personal goal. It's not about how others perceive you or whether they notice your progress. It's about building a life that you're proud of, a life that reflects the best of who you are. Every step you take toward achieving your goals is a step away from the hurt and towards a future filled with opportunities that bring joy and fulfillment. In this sense, success is a form of revenge that benefits you entirely. It's something that no one can take away from you, and it stands as a testament to your ability to rise above adversity. By focusing on your own achievements, you're also setting an example for others around you. People notice when someone turns hardship into triumph, and your story of resilience can inspire others who are facing similar struggles. Quiet revenge doesn't need to be loud or confrontational. It's a powerful statement made through persistence, commitment, and a refusal to be defined by someone else's actions. Your success speaks volumes, and in many cases, it says more than any words could. It shows that you're capable of greatness, regardless of any setback or negativity thrown your way. When you use success as a response to hurt, you're transforming pain into motivation. Rather than letting the hurt fester, you're taking that energy and putting it into something that benefits you. This transformation is crucial because it shifts your focus from what happened in the past to what you're building for the future. Every time you accomplish something new, every time you reach a milestone or make progress toward your goals, you're reinforcing your resilience. You're showing that your life is moving forward, that you're growing and evolving despite any challenges. This process of turning pain into motivation not only helps you achieve success, but it also strengthens your character and helps you develop a more profound sense of self-worth. Another powerful aspect of using success as a form of quiet revenge is that it frees you from the burden of constant anger or resentment. Instead of holding on to negative emotions, you're channeling them into something positive. This redirection allows you to heal and move forward in a way that's both constructive and empowering. Rather than feeling stuck in a cycle of anger or bitterness, you're actively working towards a life that's meaningful and fulfilling. This shift in focus is liberating because it allows you to reclaim your emotional well-being. By choosing success over resentment, you're choosing to prioritize your happiness, peace, and growth. As you achieve more and more, you may find that the hurt you once felt begins to fade. It's replaced by a sense of pride and accomplishment, a feeling that you have overcome not only the external obstacles, but also the internal struggles that come with being hurt. Success helps you build a new identity, one that's rooted in confidence and self-respect, rather than in what someone else did. You become a person who's defined by their achievements and resilience, not by past hurts or the actions of others. This new sense of self is one of the greatest rewards of using success as quiet revenge. Your success can also serve as a reminder to the person who hurt you that their actions didn't break you. While you may never directly address them or seek closure from them, your achievements stand as undeniable proof of your strength. There's a certain satisfaction in knowing that you didn't let them bring you down, that you took their actions and used them as fuel to propel yourself forward. This quiet revenge is powerful because it doesn't require confrontation or validation from anyone else. It's a deeply personal triumph that shows you have the resilience to overcome whatever life throws at you. Success as a form of quiet revenge is also lasting. While traditional forms of revenge may offer a brief moment of satisfaction, the feeling often fades quickly. But the satisfaction that comes from building a successful life is enduring. Each accomplishment builds on the one before it, creating a foundation of pride and fulfillment that lasts a lifetime. This long-term satisfaction is a constant reminder of your strength, independence, and determination. It's a gift you give to yourself, a reward that keeps giving long after the pain of the past has faded. Choosing to focus on success also keeps you in a positive frame of mind. Rather than dwelling on the negative, you're constantly looking toward the future, toward new goals and new possibilities. This forward-focused mindset is incredibly powerful because it keeps you open to opportunities for growth and happiness. It helps you develop a sense of purpose that's far greater than any hurt you may have experienced. By focusing on success, you're filling your life with positivity, hope, and ambition. These qualities not only help you achieve your goals, but they also make you a stronger, more resilient person. In the end, using success as quiet revenge is about reclaiming your story. It's about deciding that you will not be defined by what someone else did, but by what you choose to do with your life. Every accomplishment, every milestone, and every step forward becomes part of a new story, one that's filled with resilience, determination, and triumph. You're creating a narrative that reflects your values and dreams, a story that shows you have the power to shape your own destiny, regardless of the actions of others. Showing that no one's actions can control your happiness or potential is a powerful statement of self-respect and resilience. When someone wrongs us, especially when it's unexpected or comes from someone close, it's easy to feel that our happiness and success have been put in jeopardy. But in reality, the only person who truly has control over our joy and our ability to succeed is us. By refusing to let someone's actions dictate your state of mind, you're affirming that your life's direction is ultimately in your hands. This isn't always easy, especially in moments when the hurt feels overwhelming, but it's one of the most empowering choices you can make. When you show that your happiness isn't at the mercy of another's actions, you're standing firmly in your own power. You're saying, I decide what affects my joy, my peace, and my future. In situations where someone has hurt or betrayed us, it's natural to feel the sting of their actions. We might even feel that they have stolen a piece of our happiness. But this feeling, while strong, doesn't need to be the reality. Happiness isn't something that can be taken from us unless we allow it to be. It's something that comes from within, from our own sense of purpose, gratitude, and self-worth. By recognizing this, we can separate ourselves from the idea that someone else has the power to control our happiness. Instead of seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance, we can see ourselves as resilient, as capable of finding joy and fulfillment despite what others do. This mindset is incredibly freeing. It allows us to move forward without feeling beholden to someone else's actions, to experience happiness on our own terms. Refusing to let someone's actions affect our happiness or potential also means setting boundaries. When someone has wronged us, especially if it's repeatedly, it's often necessary to establish clear limits on how much of our energy and focus they are allowed to take. These boundaries are an essential part of protecting our peace. They help us to stop the cycle of negativity and to avoid letting their behavior interfere with our well-being. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care that reinforces that our happiness and potential are ours to control. By setting these limits, we're not only protecting ourselves, but also reinforcing our sense of self-respect. We're saying, my peace is valuable and I'm not willing to let anyone disrupt it. One of the most empowering aspects of not letting someone's actions control your happiness is the understanding that you are in charge of your emotional responses. It's natural to feel anger or disappointment, but by choosing to respond to those emotions in a constructive way, you're proving to yourself that you have the strength to shape your reality. Instead of being reactive, you're choosing to be proactive about your happiness. This might mean taking time to process your feelings, practicing forgiveness, or channeling your emotions into personal growth. By actively deciding how you respond, you're taking ownership of your state of mind, proving that your joy isn't contingent upon anyone else's behavior. This choice reinforces the fact that you're responsible for your own happiness, and no one else has the authority to take that away from you. Showing that no one can control your potential is just as important as protecting your happiness. When someone tries to put you down, dismiss your abilities, or belittle your dreams, it can be tempting to internalize their words or actions. But by refusing to let their negativity define your path, you're reclaiming your power. You're proving that your success isn't dependent on their opinion or validation. Instead of letting their criticism hold you back, you can use it as fuel to push forward, to strive for even greater heights. This response is a reminder that your potential is limitless, regardless of what anyone else says or does. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise that your future is in your hands alone. Maintaining your happiness and potential despite someone's hurtful actions is an act of resilience that builds inner strength. Each time you choose not to be affected by negativity, you're reinforcing your ability to rise above adversity. This resilience becomes a core part of who you are. It shows that no matter what happens around you, you're able to find a place of peace and purpose within yourself. Resilience is built through these moments of choice, these times when you decide that no one else's behavior can determine your path. As you practice resilience, you're becoming stronger, more grounded, and more capable of facing whatever life brings your way. When you don't allow someone's actions to dictate your happiness, you're setting an example for others around you. You're showing them that it's possible to maintain inner peace and self-worth, even in the face of negativity. This example can be incredibly powerful, especially for those who may be struggling to let go of the hurt caused by others. By embodying resilience and self-control, you're inspiring others to take ownership of their happiness as well. You're teaching by example, proving that it's possible to find joy and fulfillment on your own terms, no matter what challenges arise. In this way, your strength becomes a source of encouragement for those who may need it. One of the keys to not letting others control your happiness is practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't about condoning what they did. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of their actions. When we hold on to resentment, we're giving the person who hurt us a certain amount of power over our happiness. But when we forgive, we're releasing that hold. We're saying, I'm moving on. I'm not letting this define me. Forgiveness allows us to let go of the past, to focus on the present, and to build a future that's centered around our own peace and fulfillment. By forgiving, we're taking back control, refusing to let someone else's actions dictate how we feel. Choosing not to let someone control your happiness also means investing in the things that genuinely bring you joy. When we're hurt, it's easy to get caught up in negative emotions and forget about the things that uplift us. But by focusing on what brings us happiness, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or engaging in self-care, we're reminding ourselves that we have the power to create joy. This focus on positivity shifts our attention away from the hurt and toward the things that genuinely enrich our lives. It reinforces the idea that our happiness is a choice that we make every day by surrounding ourselves with what fulfills us. Refusing to let someone's actions control your potential is an acknowledgement of your own worth. When we allow others' negativity to hold us back, we're essentially allowing them to define our value. But when we rise above it, when we focus on our goals and aspirations despite their actions, we're proving that our worth isn't dependent on their validation. We're asserting that we have inherent value, that our dreams and ambitions are valid regardless of what anyone else thinks. This affirmation of self-worth is a cornerstone of personal growth. It helps us to build confidence in our abilities, to trust ourselves, and to move forward with a sense of purpose. As you continue to show that no one can control your happiness or potential, you're creating a life that's built on authenticity and self-assurance. You're proving to yourself that you are capable of maintaining joy and ambition, no matter what others do or say. This self-assurance is incredibly empowering because it allows you to live a life that's true to who you are. You're not swayed by others' opinions or actions. You're grounded in your own sense of purpose and direction. Each choice to remain focused on your happiness and potential reinforces this sense of authenticity and strength. Turning pain into purpose is one of the most empowering ways to reclaim control after someone has hurt you. Pain is often inevitable, especially when it comes from someone we trusted, respected, or cared about. While it's easy to feel weighed down by the hurt, pain has the potential to be a powerful catalyst for change. By transforming it into something meaningful, we're making a choice not to let the pain consume us, but to use it as a driving force for growth and purpose. This transformation is not about dismissing the hurt or pretending it didn't happen. Instead, it's about giving the pain a new meaning, one that serves us and perhaps even inspires others. When we turn pain into purpose, we're shifting from a place of victimhood to one of agency and strength, where we take control of the narrative and use our experiences to shape a more meaningful path forward. This process of transformation begins with acceptance. Accepting our pain doesn't mean we're okay with what happened or that we're over it. It simply means we acknowledge our feelings as valid and allow ourselves to fully experience them. Denying or suppressing pain often only intensifies it, making it more difficult to move forward. By accepting the pain, we're creating space to understand it, to reflect on how it's impacted us, and to begin the process of healing. This acceptance is a crucial step in transforming pain because it gives us permission to feel, to process, and ultimately to release the weight of what we're carrying. Without this step, it's difficult to find purpose in the experience as we're still bound by the unresolved emotions tied to it. Once we've accepted the pain, we can begin to explore how it can inform our growth. Pain often reveals areas of ourselves that need attention, whether it's a need for stronger boundaries, a better understanding of our values, or a desire to cultivate inner resilience. In this way, pain becomes a teacher, showing us aspects of ourselves that we might not have noticed otherwise. By examining the pain and the lessons it offers, we're able to use it as a guide in our personal development. This shift in perspective is incredibly empowering because it reframes the experience as something that, while difficult, holds valuable insights. Instead of seeing the pain as a purely negative experience, we can view it as a source of wisdom, one that can help us grow stronger and more self-aware. Turning pain into purpose often involves channeling it into something productive. This can take many forms depending on the individual and their interests. Some people find purpose in creative expression, using art, music, or writing as a way to process and give meaning to their pain. Others might turn to helping others who are going through similar experiences, volunteering, or mentoring as a way to make their pain serve a greater good. This act of channeling pain into productive outlets allows us to take an experience that was once a source of hurt and transform it into something constructive. Each act of expression or service becomes a step towards healing, a way of saying that our pain has a purpose beyond the hurt it initially caused. In helping others, we often find a deeper sense of purpose that transcends our individual experience. When we share our stories or use our experiences to support others, we're creating a sense of connection that validates both our own pain and the pain of those we help. This shared understanding fosters empathy and builds a community of resilience where people support each other in turning pain into strength. By using our experiences to uplift others, we're not only helping them but also affirming our own journey. This cycle of giving and receiving support becomes a powerful source of healing and empowerment, reinforcing that our pain has value beyond its initial impact on us. Sometimes turning pain into purpose involves setting new goals or pursuing a passion that we may have set aside. Pain has a way of bringing clarity to our priorities, helping us focus on what truly matters. When we experience hurt, we may realize that life is too short to postpone our dreams or to spend time on things that don't bring us fulfillment. This realization can be a powerful motivator, inspiring us to take risks, to pursue our passions, and to live in alignment with our values. By using pain as a catalyst for pursuing our goals, we're transforming it into a force that drives us towards a more meaningful and fulfilling life. This shift allows us to look back on the pain with a sense of gratitude, recognizing that, in its own way, it helped us reach new heights and discover a deeper sense of purpose. For many, spirituality or mindfulness becomes an important part of turning pain into purpose. Practices like meditation, prayer, or reflection can help us make sense of our experiences and find meaning in them. These practices allow us to sit with our pain in a way that's contemplative rather than reactive, creating a space where we can observe our feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Through mindfulness, we can begin to see pain as part of the larger tapestry of our lives, as one of many experiences that contribute to our growth. This perspective helps us recognize that pain, while difficult, is temporary and that it's possible to move through it with grace and self-compassion. Pain also has the potential to deepen our sense of empathy and compassion. When we've experienced hurt, we often become more attuned to the struggles of others, more willing to offer support and understanding. This expanded capacity for empathy is a powerful aspect of turning pain into purpose, as it allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. Instead of isolating us, pain becomes a bridge that brings us closer to others, helping us to see that we're not alone in our experiences. By using our pain to cultivate compassion, we're transforming it into a force that benefits not only ourselves but also the people around us. In turning pain into purpose, we're also embracing resilience. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about facing it head-on and using it to build strength. Each time we choose to learn from our pain, to grow from it, we're reinforcing our ability to handle life's challenges. This resilience becomes a core part of who we are, a foundation that supports us through future difficulties. By choosing to turn pain into purpose, we're creating a reserve of strength that will carry us forward, helping us to face new challenges with confidence and courage. Transforming pain into purpose also means finding a sense of gratitude within the experience. While it may seem counterintuitive, many people find that over time, they're able to look back on their pain with a sense of appreciation. This gratitude doesn't mean they're glad it happened, but rather that they're grateful for the growth, strength, and insights that came from it. This shift in perspective allows us to see pain as a part of our journey, as an experience that has shaped us into the person we are today. By finding gratitude in our pain, we're affirming that even the hardest moments have value and that we have the power to transform them into something meaningful. Each step in turning pain into purpose is a step towards healing and self-discovery. It's a journey of finding strength in vulnerability, of using our experiences to build a life that reflects our values, resilience, and compassion. Pain, while challenging, can be a powerful force for good when we choose to transform it rather than be defeated by it. By turning pain into purpose, we're reclaiming our power and creating a life that's not defined by what happened to us, but by what we chose to do with it. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. There's a question we all wrestle with at some point in our lives. How do we deal with people who hurt us? Friends, this is one of those life lessons that digs deep because hurt comes in many forms. Sometimes it's disappointment from a loved one. Sometimes it's betrayal from someone we trusted. Or maybe it's words that cut right to the heart. When we're hurt, the instinct can be to get back. We want that person to feel the weight of what they've done to us. But here's what I want to talk to you about today. The best revenge isn't found in retaliation. The most powerful thing you can do is to let go, move forward, and build a life that shines so brightly it's unmistakable. Let me say it plainly, the best revenge is success, peace, and a life of growth and fulfillment. The most powerful response to anyone who has wronged you is to elevate yourself beyond their actions and focus on your growth. Rising above doesn't mean pretending the hurt doesn't exist, it means acknowledging it and then choosing a different path. When we're wronged, there's a part of us that instinctively wants to react, to strike back, to make them feel the pain they caused. It's human nature. But if we pause, step back, and really ask ourselves what good will come from a vengeful reaction, we often find that we're only stoking the fire. Retaliation may give us a temporary sense of satisfaction, but in the end, it usually leaves us feeling hollow because it's rooted in bitterness. It's focused on their actions instead of your growth. Imagine shifting that focus entirely. Imagine looking at yourself and asking, how can I make this experience the foundation for something positive? When you turn your energy inward, you create space for transformation. You begin to pour all of that energy you would have wasted on anger into building yourself up. The time you would have spent strategizing on how to get back at them becomes time spent planning your next steps, learning, healing, and growing. It's not about ignoring what happened, it's about refusing to let it consume you. Instead of allowing someone else's actions to dictate your energy, you reclaim it by setting your eyes on the path ahead. Every challenge, every hurt, and every slight can become fuel if we let it. But the fuel we're choosing isn't rage, it's resilience, it's wisdom, it's understanding. By refusing to be controlled by what happened, you're making a powerful choice that shows you have a deeper sense of purpose. You're showing that you value yourself too much to be bogged down by negativity. And this choice, this act of focusing on self-growth, sends a message to those around you and to yourself. It says, I am bigger than this hurt, and I am capable of transforming it into strength. It's important to recognize that growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Some days are easier than others, but each day you're investing in yourself, moving one step further from the impact of that hurt. You're creating a new foundation that's rooted not in what someone else has done, but in what you're capable of achieving. By focusing on growth, you're empowering yourself to take charge of your future. And with each step forward, you're solidifying your own sense of purpose. The most powerful response to anyone who has wronged you is to elevate yourself beyond their actions and focus on your growth. Rising above doesn't mean pretending the hurt doesn't exist, it means acknowledging it and then choosing a different path. When we're wronged, there's a part of us that instinctively wants to react, to strike back, to make them feel the pain they caused. It's human nature. But if we pause, step back, and really ask ourselves what good will come from a vengeful reaction, we often find that we're only stoking the fire. Retaliation may give us a temporary sense of satisfaction, but in the end, it usually leaves us feeling hollow because it's rooted in bitterness. It's focused on their actions instead of your growth. Imagine shifting that focus entirely. Imagine looking at yourself and asking, how can I make this experience the foundation for something positive? When you turn your energy inward, you create space for transformation. You begin to pour all of that energy you would have wasted on anger into building yourself up. The time you would have spent strategizing on how to get back at them becomes time spent planning your next steps, learning, healing, and growing. And it's not about ignoring what happened, it's about refusing to let it consume you. Instead of allowing someone else's actions to dictate your energy, you reclaim it by setting your eyes on the path ahead. Every challenge, every hurt, and every slight can become fuel if we let it. But the fuel we're choosing isn't rage, it's resilience, it's wisdom, it's understanding. By refusing to be controlled by what happened, you're making a powerful choice that shows you have a deeper sense of purpose. You're showing that you value yourself too much to be bogged down by negativity. And this choice, this act of focusing on self-growth, sends a message to those around you and to yourself. It says, I am bigger than this hurt, and I am capable of transforming it into strength. It's important to recognize that growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Some days are easier than others, but each day you're investing in yourself, moving one step further from the impact of that hurt. You're creating a new foundation that's rooted not in what someone else has done, but in what you're capable of achieving. By focusing on growth, you're empowering yourself to take charge of your future. And with each step forward, you're solidifying your own sense of purpose. Letting go of anger and reclaiming your power is a transformative process that liberates you from the grasp of someone else's hurtful actions. Holding on to anger is like gripping onto a heavy weight that drains your energy and focus, often without you even realizing it. When someone hurts us, especially someone we trusted, our initial reaction might be to harbor resentment or bitterness, which is natural. But the longer we hold on to that feeling, the more it becomes a chain that ties us to that hurt, allowing the other person's actions to maintain power over us. And letting go is not an easy path, but it's one of the most freeing choices you can make because it allows you to move forward without the baggage of resentment. Imagine that every time you think about that hurt, it takes up mental space. That mental space could be used to think about your goals, your dreams, or your happiness. But instead, it's occupied by thoughts of what they did and how you feel about it. Letting go isn't about denying the validity of those feelings or pretending that you weren't affected. It's about deciding not to let it occupy any more of your time, focus, or energy. It's about choosing to place your mental, emotional, and even physical energy into something that serves you, that helps you grow, rather than something that drags you down. Reclaiming your power starts with understanding that you're in control of your reaction, even when you couldn't control the initial hurt. Someone else's actions were out of your hands, but how you respond to them is fully within your grasp. That response determines your future more than the hurt itself. When you choose to let go of anger, you're making a conscious decision to take back that power from the person who hurt you. It's not about forgetting or ignoring what happened. It's about creating a boundary that separates their actions from your life's direction. In that act of releasing anger, you're saying, I refuse to let this weigh me down any longer. One of the hardest parts of letting go is the fear that if we do, we're somehow letting the other person off the hook or allowing them to win, but releasing anger isn't about them, it's about you. You're not absolving them of what they did, you're choosing to free yourself from its impact. Letting go means that they no longer have the power to control how you feel or dictate your state of mind. They may have caused hurt, but they don't get to dictate your happiness or peace. In fact, when you hold on to anger, it often has no effect on them. They move on while you're the one left bearing the burden of resentment. Releasing that anger allows you to truly move on, and that is the ultimate victory. Reclaiming your power through letting go is a profound act of self-respect. It's telling yourself that you're worth more than the hurt you've endured, that your life has more purpose than being consumed by negativity. When you let go of anger, you're putting yourself first. You're choosing to prioritize your well-being, your peace, and your progress over dwelling on the past. This act of self-love is incredibly empowering. You're signaling to yourself that your happiness matters, that your energy and focus are valuable, and that you're not willing to waste them on something that doesn't serve you. Each step you take towards releasing that anger is a step towards self-respect, towards valuing yourself enough to let go of what doesn't bring you peace. Anger, when held on to, has a way of influencing our thoughts, actions, and even our health. It creates a cycle where we constantly revisit the hurt, reliving it over and over again in our minds, which only prolongs the pain. This mental and emotional toll can also manifest physically, causing stress and even impacting our well-being. Letting go of anger isn't just an emotional act, it's a holistic one. When you release anger, you're giving your mind and body permission to heal, to find calm, and to focus on things that uplift you. You're making room for positivity, joy, and growth by removing a heavy burden from your life. Consider the relationships and connections in your life that are important to you. Holding on to anger doesn't just affect you, it affects how you show up in those relationships. When we're bogged down by resentment, we're often less present with those we care about, less willing to open up, or even less patient. Letting go of anger allows you to be a better friend, family member, or partner. It allows you to show up fully in your relationships without the cloud of past hurt hanging over you. In this way, releasing anger strengthens the bonds that truly matter to you, helping you invest more in people who uplift and support you rather than being held back by someone who doesn't. There's also a lesson in resilience that comes from choosing to let go. It demonstrates an inner strength that is far more powerful than anger ever could be. It takes courage to let go because it means confronting the hurt, processing it, and then making a conscious decision to move on. But in that process, you're building a resilience that will serve you for a lifetime. You're proving to yourself that you can face challenges, face pain, and still choose to rise above it. That resilience becomes a part of who you are, shaping you into a person who is strong enough to weather any storm and still find peace on the other side. When you let go of anger, you're opening yourself up to new opportunities and experiences. Anger can cloud your judgment, making you wary or distrustful. But when you release it, you're allowing yourself to see the world with fresh eyes, to be open to new possibilities that anger might have blinded you to. This openness brings new experiences, new connections, and new paths for growth. Letting go creates space for the future, a future that isn't tainted by the shadows of the past. Letting go of anger and reclaiming your power doesn't mean that you'll never think about the hurt again. It's normal to feel a twinge of pain when memories resurface, but each time you choose not to dwell on it, not to let it take hold of your thoughts, you're reinforcing your strength. Each moment you decide to focus on something positive, something that brings you joy or peace, you're making the hurt smaller and the freedom greater. Over time, those memories will hold less power, and you'll find yourself free from the weight they once carried. Letting go of anger is a choice, and it's one that you may have to make over and over again. It's not about reaching a point where you never feel hurt, but rather about continuously choosing not to let that hurt control you. It's an act of discipline and self-care, a commitment to yourself that your happiness matters more than someone else's actions.